Hello guys, RobBat1 here coming at you with my first place Dragon Link deck profile. Yes, for the last couple of weeks I just keep smacking it at locals with playing different decks with slightly different strategies because you know what, I want to play different decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know why? Because we had that whole dry period this year where we couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! At all in real life, and I just wanted to play real Yu-Gi-Oh! So now I'm just playing all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Can with all the different Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks I can. But this week, I chose to take Dragon Link to locals because I managed to get the last card I needed for the deck in general. I bought it off eBay, got it literally 2 days before locals, and was like, yes, I am going to play this. And I ended up coming first at locals with it. And honestly, I'm going to say a few things about the deck. One, the deck is it doesn't have a resource management, this deck, at all. Because for something like the extra deck, you end up having like that many extra deck cards left after turn 1. Just literally one card. You have one extra deck card left after turn 1. And the deck is really powerful for a turn 1 deck and slash a turn 2 deck because the deck can play through multiple disruptions, which is why I think it's really cool and why I wanted to play it. But it's just the crappy turn 1 resource management for me kind of puts me off. But the good points about this deck though, this deck is literally just one card combo central, and I love that about the deck. But yeah, I chose to take it to locals. I played 5 rounds of locals and came first. I win one more week at locals, and I get the Red Eyes mat and the Red Eyes Field Center as well, so let's hope I get that next week. But nonetheless, guys, I took this to locals. I did 5 rounds of Swiss. I came first out of Swiss, and yeah, Dragon Link, man, it got me there. And I played against multiple different decks, guys. Like, I didn't win all 5 rounds. I would have won all 5 rounds, but I drew the second to last round because I didn't look at the clock, and all I had to do was 100 damage, and I would have won. And I had the 100 damage on board. I was just trying to play around a Nibiru that I thought my opponent had in hand, and things just happened, and I just didn't look at the clock, and I lost because of that. But nonetheless, I did play through the whole game. I was able to play really well. I played against multiple different decks. Round 1 was Dino. I won against that. Round 2 was Toons. Don't know why I'm playing against Toons in round 2, but I won that. Round 3 was against ABC, funny enough. Game 1, he just Dragooned and passed. Game 2, I just made full board, combo board, and just stopped him from winning the game. And then Game 3, it was literally he sets, I set, he sets, he makes Needle Fire, but I stop him with Hat and Traps. Then I finally draw a way to play the game and just combo off and kill him. Round 3 was the draw where I played a mirror match against Dragon Link, and then round 5 was the only EXO and the person I would have played anyway, even if I didn't draw, and that was against Sid. Shadow invoked Orcust, but yeah, and I just won that game 2-0 as well. But, guys, honestly, I really do like this deck. I really do want to show you guys this deck now because it was a really cool deck to play at locals, and I've been wanting to kind of build dragons for a long time, and now's the chance to actually show you guys dragons. So, yeah, let's actually get into the deck profile, though, guys, so I can show you guys what the deck is, because this is a 50-card deck list, and there's a lot to talk about. So, starting off with 1-card combos, we're playing 3 Starliege Safer, along with 3 Black Metal Dragon, along with the 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. These cards are basically just 1-card combo because, pretty much, guys, in this deck, to full combo, all you need to do is put 2 dragons on the board, and both of these 7 cards together are just 1-card combo. If you open the Starliege Safer, you go ahead and use this effect to search out a black or white dragon. Normally the black dragon, so you can banish this. And then from there, you just get to go from full combo through like Romulus into Needle Fiber, into Guard Dragons, and then finally into an end board with like Savage Dragon, Herald, and Bastard Dragon on board. And then with Metal Dragon, you also do the same thing where you literally just normal summon Striker Dragon, go ahead and banish the Striker Dragon, summon out the Red MD, and then go into the Romulus and do the whole thing there. Basically, I only want to play 2 sets of 1-card combos, though. I only want to play 6 1-card combos, technically, because I'm still playing a lot of other 1.5-card combos as well in the deck, and I feel like these are just the best 6 to do, because, like, the Dragon Maid... Looking at the Dragon Maid stuff, the Dragon Maid isn't really great because you've got to play more bricks, whereas with these, you don't really play a lot of bricks, which is kind of like why I chose to go with these 1-card combos in the deck overall. And also Starliege Safer has an additional effect where you can add Chaos Dragon Levianeer from your graveyard to your hand, which I really do like as well. But yeah, this is just the first 7 cards in the deck, and it's just the 1-card combos, essentially. Those are the 1-card combos. But next we play 3 Noctovision Dragon, because this is pretty much just a double chain block card, where if you make the Striker Dragon, you can just go Striker Dragon chaining 1, Noct Dragon chaining 2, because of this has an effect where if a Dark Dragon is special summoned, you can basically summon this from your hand. So you can go chaining 1 onto the you can go chaining 1 Striker and then chaining 2 this. And also it's really good because it chain links the Romulus, because when you link summon into the Romulus, you go chaining 1 Romulus and then chaining 2 this in the graveyard to draw you a card. So this is just basically a double chain blocking card in this deck, which I feel like is really, really good actually, because you don't really see a lot of decks have cards that can double chain block your opponent, and having more ways to play around hand traps is really strong, and which is why this deck can play around a lot of hand traps. So 3 of this. For Rockets, we're playing 3 Tracer, because Tracer's the one you always want to see. You need to be playing 3 of him, so you always have a way to get to him, because, like, honestly, if you don't open the Tracer, or you don't have a way to get to the Tracer, you're not going to be able to make this Boral Savage at the end of the combo to be able to go ahead and equip the Dragon's Buster onto it, so and have that additional negate. So you kind of want to play 3 of this just so you can guarantee that even more, and I feel like 3 is just the perfect number. Then we play 2 Rocket Recharger, because 1, it's the card you're going to summon off the Tracer, and 2, it's also a way to revive your Dark Dragons that were destroyed on board, that were summoned from the extra deck. So it's just a nice reviver card if your opponent manages to kill your card with Gamma, or it's just a really good card in general if you have the Tracer, if you want to summon it off the Tracer. So it's just got like double purpose. It summons off Tracer, and it's also a way to revive cards. Then we also play 1 Abzerata Dragon as the last Rocket card, because it searches Tracer when you send it to the graveyard. So, and also if you open it with a Rocket, that is technically full combo, because that's the 2 dragons you require to go into the full 1-card or 2-card combo. We also play 2 White Rose and 1 Red Rose Dragon, because pretty much what these are is these are key integral pieces to just the 1-card combo, where in the 1-card combo you go from basically when you go into the Needlefiber part of the combo, you summon the Red Rose from the deck, and then you use the Red Rose and a token that you summoned off Link Ross to go into Herald of Arclight, and then this summons the White Rose from the deck. And the reason, so you only need 1 of this, and you play 2 White Rose Dragon, because White Rose Dragon is pretty much the card that you're always going to want to summon. And seeing as this can't summon from the graveyard, you play 2, because if you open 1, and you open 1 with a Dragon Tuner, and that allows you to, that's your only way to actually go into your full combo, well, then you need to have the second one in deck to be able to summon off the Red Rose to be able to go into your full combo. So I play this engine because of that reason, and I also play this engine over the Vylon Cube engine, guys. And the reason for that is because 1, Vylon Cube, yes, it can search you like Living Fossil and Smoke Grenade, but this, they're dragons, so they guarantee that you can have access to your combos, and Vylon Cube, if you draw that is not access to your combo. So I choose to play the Rose Dragon package instead, just so I can always have guaranteed access into my combos. So I feel like this is just the stronger package out of the 2. For hand traps, though, we're playing 3 Ash Blossom, because it is just the best hand trap in my personal opinion. I don't have any preferences other than this card being the best hand trap in the game. And then a card that I hate, 3 Cyframe Gamma and the Driver. And guys, I do hate this card quite a bit still, but in this deck it gets somewhat of a pass for me. And that is mainly due to 2 reasons. 1, you play a ton of 1-card starters that can be played around hand traps with Gamma. Like, for instance, if you activate Starliege Safer's effect, you can just, and your opponent ashes it, well, you've got the Gamma in hand because you control no monsters. So Gamma plus Safer is just protection for your Safer to allow you to start going into your combo. You play stuff like Chaos Space that allows you to search and stops the Gamma there and stops the Ash there. You play like Rocket Launch. You play like a quick draw, which will allow you to special summon a rocket from your deck. Like, I do not like the card, and I feel like the card does brick a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, even though I came first at locals, I drew the driver 5 games in a row with no gammas in hand, and it was just like, well, I have full combo, but I drew the driver, so it just kind of sucks. But just because the fact that it gives you that ability to prevent your opponent from doing anything on the summon or just on the effect of a spell or on like safer, I feel like it's just a card that I kind of had to play. Now, I only used it once throughout the entire day, and even that once I drew the gamma, but it does have its bonuses, and even though I hate the card to bits, it kind of does need to be played in this situation, so that's kind of like the reason I play this. And it gets a pass because I can discard it with Chaos Space. But yeah, for other dragons though, we are playing like for hand traps, and now for just like one of dragons, because for some reason I put the hand traps first. We're playing 1 Phalanx because the card you never want to draw, you want to always have this in the deck. Because if you draw it, it does really suck, because you're not able to go into your full card combo, because you're going to be special summoning this off Dragunity Lance, because he is very integral to the 1 card combo. I have also debated playing him at 2 because of that, because like, having access into your 1 card combo is really important a lot of the time in this deck. So I've been like, maybe I should play 2 Phalanx, but right now I'm only playing 1, and I feel like 1 is enough. It's just if you do draw the 1, it is kind of an uphill battle to play the game. And don't get me wrong, I drew Phalanx in opening hands 3 different games. I lost 2 of those games and won because I was able to open additional extenders. But nonetheless, it isn't a great card to draw, but you can still kind of go off from that point if you do draw it. So it's not the end of the world, but it just hurts a lot. 1 Dragon Buster because he locks out your opponent's extra deck. 1 Omni Dragon Brotor because Omni Dragon Brotor is actually insane. 1, he on special summon he discards card to search any Dark Dragon from your deck, because majority of the time you're going to be targeting a Dark Dragon. And 2, he has an effect where if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon him and then discard a card to add a Dark Dragon. So pretty much what you're going to do is, if your opponent attacks into your monster and kills it, you special summon this back, you use its effect, and you search a Dark Dragon. Also, you can go mid-combo, special summon him, and discard a card from your hand to, like, in the Dragon Link area of the combo, and then you can go discard, add a Chaos Legionnaire to your hand, or add a Rocket Tracer to your hand, or just add something that will allow you to play the game to go slightly further, so you can actually go into your combos a bit better. So he's a multi-utility card, and I just really like how he's just a summon that says I'm going to search, and if I open him with World Legacy Guard Dragon, then I'm just going to summon him, and I'm going to look at my opponent, and I'm going to be like, I get to search and I get to use my Tracer effect, which is really nice. But yeah, going into just like the Chaos Dragons though, we're playing 1 White Dragon Wyvern Buster, 1 Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, and 1 Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. Because I feel like these are the perfect ratio for the Chaos Dragons. These are the 2 that you can only play at 1 no matter what, so you have to play them at 1, and they are the best ones. You always want to be able to search these from your deck with something like a Seifert or a Chaos Space, which is really nice. But I only want to be playing 1 of the Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, because Chaos Dragon Legionnaire is I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did brick a few times with him throughout the day where it was just like, oh, I draw him and no real other way to play the game, and that was the game where I had to play against ABC, where I literally just set pass, because it was just like, well, I haven't drawn a way to play the game, but I have like Chaos Dragon Legionnaire in my hand that I can't do anything with, and I had an Apsarara and something else, but then I drew a way to like then I drew a Chaos Space and was just able to play off, but I feel like you only really need the 1 because he's searchable through so many means in the deck, such as Chaos Space, Brotor, and anything along those lines, and he's just a really good card that you have to play in the deck for the fact that he can basically just get a card from your opponent's hand and slap it back into the deck, which is really, really nice. And also it can be recycled with cards like Starly's Safer as well, so he's just really good in that category as well, because you can consistently summon him back. So just really good card in my opinion, and he's just something you want to play. But yeah, those are the monsters though. Like, monster ratio I wouldn't change. I feel like the monster lineup is correct. A lot of people would try and put Vial on Cubin, maybe not play Gamma like I say, because Gamma in my opinion isn't the best. But nonetheless, the hand traps I feel like are correct, and I also feel like the dragon ratios are correct. So yeah, I just really like this lineup. And sorry for getting the hand traps and the dragons mixed up. I thought those were the right way around. But yeah, let's actually go into the spells now, though. So for spells, we're playing triple Chaos Space, because this is literally just a 1.5 card combo where you just need Chaos Space and a Dark or Light monster to be able to go off. Triple Quick Launch, because he summons a rocket from the deck, and literally just 2 dragons is technically full combo. So this is another 1.5 card combo. A 2 card combo where you can literally just go into full combo. Free World Legacy Guard Dragon, because World Legacy Guard Dragon and another. Literally, World Legacy Guard Dragon and a dragon is technically full combo as well, because it equals 2 dragons, and also lets you move the dragon, so you don't even need to go into like the LP, and you don't even need to go into the Needle Fiber and the Link Ross, so you just save extra deck cards. One for one, because it is technically another 1 card combo. Well, a 1.5 card combo, because you just special the Black Metal Dragon from the deck, and then you go from there. One emergency teleport to summon the Gammas from the deck or the hand, because you need a way to like get use out of your extra Gammas. One Monster Reborn just for slightly more revival. One Dragoonity Lance, because he's the primary card that you use for the 1 card combo, because it attaches the Phalanx to the Romulus, and then you go into the combo from there. One Dragon's Ravine, as a card you search off the Romulus if you've already got the Dragon Lance or you've opened the Phalanx. And then finally, 1 Boot Sector Launch, because Boot Sector Launch is just a really good card in the deck in terms of just being able to summon your Rocket Tracer from your hand as the last part of your combo. So yeah, that's kind of like the spell ratios. Like, the only thing that I kind of am debating in the spell lineup is maybe playing a second Boot Sector Launch, because I drew this card multiple times throughout the day, and I really just wanted to resolve my Tracer Dragon effect, so Boot Sector Launch was pretty good, but I just wanted to resolve other effects. But yeah, so Boot Sector Launch is something that I'm debating on playing at 2, but right now I feel like it's just fine as is. And then for the last cards we play in the main deck is 3 Infinite Permanents, just as another hand trap in the deck to be able to print out the opponent. So we're playing 9 hand traps in the main deck. So in this deck, I am personally very happy with the main deck. There's like nothing I really hate about the deck, other than maybe the Gammas, because they do brick me at times, and I'm just like, no, why do I play you? I hate you. But it just can help a lot on turn 1, and just help a lot outside of that. But every time I go first in game 2 or 3, I'm just like, I'm siding you out. You're not being in my main deck. I don't want you here. But every other time, like going first, if I lose the die roll, it just comes up. It can be helpful. I only resolved it once throughout the whole day at locals, but it does what it does, so I can't really complain. But yeah, that's the main deck though. Let's go on to the extra deck, because the extra deck is obviously cards that you only have 1 card left in after turn 1 majority of the time. So let's actually go into that. So, extra deck, we're playing the 1 Link Ross, because he summons tokens and allows you to go into your Herald of Arclight, and allows you to use the Red Rose Dragon to summon a White Rose Dragon from the deck. He's very important for the 1 card combo, so you have to be playing him in the deck. 1 Striker Dragon. I've seen people play Striker Dragon at 2. I personally like him at 1, because like I would rather make an LP and a Pisty, then go further, instead of just playing 2 Striker Dragon. I don't see the point of that, so I just like playing one Striker Dragon over that option instead. The 2 main offenders of the extra deck, LP and Pisty, because like this one summons from deck, this one summons from grave and banished. They're just abusable through heavy means. You have to be playing 1 of each. 1 Union Carrier, only purpose to equip Buster Whelp. 1 Romulus, because he's literally very important to the key combo, and also is the choke point in this deck. So you have to be playing multiple ways to chain block with Romulus, but you also have to be playing the 1 to be able to go ahead and search the Dragoonity Lance and go into the 1 card combo from there. 1 Halki Fibrax, because Halki Fibrax says I'm going to summon the Red Rose from the deck. And then I'm going to go from there. 1 Dilindris, because he goes ahead and special summons himself from the graveyard whenever you special summon a rocket monster. So majority of the time you're going to be using your LP and your Pisty to go into Dilindris Dragon. And then go into something like Saruja, and then from there summon back a Tracer onto the board, and then summon him, and then you go into the... from there you go into the Union Carrier. We also play 1 Triple Burst, because when we make the LP and the Pisty with Needle Fiber on board, we want to be able to get rid of the monster that we summon with the LP. So we go ahead and make the Triple Burst in the other zone, and then we go ahead and go from there. So the Triple Burst, 1 Appaloosa, because there are boards in this deck where we can end on Herald, Savage, Appaloosa 2 negates with a Buster Dragon. So really strong. One access code talker, normally the last card in your extra deck, because he's the card that you use to OTK your opponent, destroy your opponent's board of multiple things, and just get around a lot of different cards. One Saruja Skuldread, because you never use this card. Literally, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't normally use this card for its draw effect. You normally use this card for its special summon effect. Majority of the time, you're going to be using this to special summon some stuff like Tracer from your hand, or you're going to use it special summoning Red MD from hand, or you're going to be special summoning multiple different kind of cards from your hand instead of just going for the draw effect. Like, the only reason I play him is because he's a dragon, Link 4, that can special summon a monster from my hand. Sure, you can use his draw effect, and sure, it can come up at times, but I don't normally aim for it unless I actually need to draw cards. So it's just like, I'm good with just what it is. So Saruja Skuldread at 1 as well. One Metal Marcher to be able to special summon the Phalanx from the graveyard, then use it to go into the Needle Fiber. One Herald of Arclight to help me play around Forbidden Droplets, have a negate to set up early on in the game, and go even further beyond. And then finally, one Boral Savage Dragon, because he's the card that you're going to have on the board with the Destruction Sword. But that's the main deck. In all honesty, the main deck is very strong. I really did like the main deck throughout the whole day and the extra deck. This deck does have very bad resource management, which is one of its bigger issues, but nonetheless, the deck still performs very well, and I'm really happy with it. But because obviously this is a first place Locals deck profile, we do have a side deck, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this side deck now. Now obviously side decks vary, but this is just something that I like to add in my first place deck profiles to show you guys why I am playing at Locals. So, right now we're playing one Pancrotrops because he helps deal with back row cards. He's just really good against stuff like Winder, because you can just special summon from the hand and attack over it. You want to be playing him at 1 purely because he's just a really good card to out back row, out monsters, and he's just a really strong side deck card. Honestly, if he was up free, I would play him up free, and I miss him being up free. Konami, stop limiting our good cards. But yeah, so one Pancrotrops, he's just a really strong card. Triple Droll and Lockbird, because this card can stop a lot of different things. This card can stop Dragon Link at times. This card can just halt the turn of an invoked player, stopping them from being able to play the game any further than they literally can. It stops so many decks that just have to search cards, and it's just a really strong card because of that, so we want to play 3 of him just to allow us to be able to prevent our opponent. 3 Nibiru, because we Nibiru our opponent's entire board and then win the game. That literally happened. I Nibiru'd 6 cards, and I won. Simple as that. Triple Dark Ruler No More. This card came up against Sid at Locals, and it's because they summoned a Winder, and I would not be able to play the game if I did not activate the Dark Ruler No More. So really good card there as well. Triple Lightning Storm for back row decks, and also big monster decks like Dinosaur. Like, I would put this in against Dinosaur every time, because the majority of the time they put UTC, Dulker, and Lagia in attack, and I'm just like, okay, I'll just add I'll just play Lightning Storm, which is really nice. One Harpy's Feather Duster, because Harpy's Feather Duster is so nice, being able to destroy all back row for absolutely nothing. And then finally one Red Reboot for back row destruction. That's literally my side deck. It's Locals. I play big money cards, but obviously side decks vary depending on people. Like, I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't have that. So I'm just saying, like, it's just a nice side deck in my opinion. But yeah, guys, this deck though, I really did have fun playing it at Locals. It was really cool to actually play a dragon deck again, because I rarely play dragon decks, because I'm not always the biggest fan of dragon's decks. I'm more of like into warrior type decks or spellcaster type decks. I've always been that kind of player that just likes warriors and spellcasters over big dragons. But playing this at Locals, I really did enjoy myself. It was really fun just being able to play a dragon deck that just sits there with, like, I only need 1 card. I go through different routes depending on what my opponent has. I played through like 3 hand traps round 1 against Dinosaurs. Literally, he Effect Veilered, double Effect Veiler, and impermed me, and I was still able to make a board with Herald of Arclight, Impermanence, and just so much more. Herald of Arclight, Boral Savage with the equip on it, and it just, like, it was really cool to play this deck. But guys, that's the video. Tell me what your thoughts are on this deck in the comment section below. Do you think this deck is a good deck? Do you think this is one of the strongest decks in the format? I personally think it's the second best, just over Invoked Dogmatica, because I just feel like that deck has it's just a very more stable deck that doesn't really have as much bricks as this deck could potentially have, and drawing big monsters can kind of suck in this deck. But That's just my thoughts, but I really do like this deck. I'm really happy I took it to locals, and I do love decks like this. So guys, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts are on Dragon Link in the comment section below. There will be a hand testing video coming out soon, guys, so please look out for that. It might be a dueling book one, because I kind of want to change the format to that, because on my desk I have barely any space, and I might do a real life one, I might do one like that, I don't know at the current moment. But guys, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts are on this deck in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Robot1 signing out. Later all.